Russia's first moon mission in 47 years has crashed on the moon's surface. The country's state space corporation, Roscosmos, made an official announcement confirming that the Lunar 25 spacecraft's journey had come to an end. Roscosmos revealed in a statement that contact with the spacecraft had been lost due to an unforeseen issue during a critical maneuvering phase of the mission. This after Moscow's space agency reported that it lost communication with Lunar 25 on Saturday. Contact was lost as Lunar 25 spacecraft was being positioned into its pre-landing orbit. Russia has not attempted a moon mission since Lunar 24 in 1976. The Lunar 25 mission was an integral part of Russia's efforts to revitalize its lunar exploration program, paving the way for upcoming Lunar 26 and Lunar 27 missions. Now, for the latest, we are being joined by our senior correspondent, Siddharth MP. Hello to you, Siddharth. Tell us what the implications will be with Russia's Lunar 25 mission. What will they be on India's Chandrayaan mission?
So, Alison, of course, this is a serious setback for the Russian space program. As you rightly pointed out, the last time that the erstwhile Soviet Union, sent a lunar mission and successfully accomplished the mission was in 1976. And in almost 47 years, there's been no progress in that regard. And even this Lunar 25 mission has happened after decades of delay. In fact, it is, a lot of hope riding on this mission, particularly for Russia. But this is a severe jolt for the Russian space program because the Russian space program in recent decades has not had a great track record in terms of exploration. Their rocket launch missions have all gone well largely, but when it comes to exploring other planets including Mars and so on, their missions have not had great success, including one mission to study one of the moons of planet Mars actually ended up in the oceans. It did not even clear the Earth orbit. So Russia has been facing severe setbacks in recent times, and this is yet another one in that list. This is also similar, to analyze what went wrong, this is sort of similar to what went wrong to India's Chandrayaan 2 mission in 2019. So there was a similar situation where the craft had crash landed. The reasons given back then also were quite similar. The sequence of events was quite similar. Just sometime prior to a crucial maneuver in that mission, and like right now in Luna as well, what we've seen is before a crucial maneuver there was an error that took place, and because of that error communication was lost, and eventually they learned that the craft has crash landed. So of course a lot of hope riding on India's Chandrayaan 3. Luna was supposed to be India's co-traveler. Luna was supposed to land, or rather expected to land before Chandrayaan 3 near the lunar South Polar region ahead of Chandrayaan 3. But now Chandrayaan 3 is all alone in its journey, and there's close to 72 hours to go for the lunar landing of Chandrayaan 3. Alison.
Siddharth, thank you very much for bringing us all the latest details. And now for more details, our guest, Dr. Malcolm Davis, who is a senior analyst at the Australian Strategic Policy Institute, is joining us live. Thank you for being with us. Now, Russia has more lunar missions slated in the future. How do you think this lunar mission will impact Moscow?
Look, it's incredibly bad luck for Roscosmos. As your interviewer said, this has been an extensively delayed mission by the Russians, and for it to go horribly wrong in lunar orbit, as clearly is what has happened. It's crashed into the moon's surface. I think that the Russians will now be doing a thorough review of what happened. It's most likely either a computer error or some sort of miscommunication that led to the rockets of the descent stage firing for way too long, and as a result, they lost communications with the craft. So I think a thorough investigation will occur, but those future missions will go ahead. The question is when, at what point will they be launched?
Right, and Doctor, in your opinion, what went wrong during this critical maneuvering phase of the mission, and what now for Roscosmos?
Look, I think, as I said, the investigation will have to take place. It's possible that someone sent an incorrect command from Earth to the Lunar 25 spacecraft, which caused its engines to fire for too long. There was discussion online about too much impulse, which suggests that the rockets fired for too long, and as a result, it went into the wrong trajectory. They lost communication, so they couldn't correct it, and the craft slammed into the lunar surface at high speed. The other possibility is some sort of mechanical fault or computer fault with the spacecraft itself, in which case there'll be investigations into the design and construction of Lunar 25 in anticipation of sending future missions like Lunar 26 and 27. But this, sort of getting this correct is really important, because Russia has thrown its lot in with China in the International Lunar Research Station. And if Russia can't get payloads to the lunar surface, then it's not much value to China as a partner. China may be looking elsewhere then for partners in this endeavor rather than Russia.
Right. And tell us what the implications will Russia's lunar mission have on India's Chandrayaan mission?
It shouldn't have any implications per se, excuse me, in the sense that Chandrayaan obviously is not built in Russia. It's a separate spacecraft. It's being controlled from ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization. So I think that obviously the Indian mission control will be making sure that they're very careful in terms of their control of Chandrayaan 3. But I'm hopeful, very hopeful, that Chandrayaan 3 will land successfully and carry out a fantastic mission. And I think that it's all now down to India to demonstrate success in the next phase of lunar exploration.
Dr. Malcolm Davis, thank you very much for being with us and your valued insights there.
Thank you.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.